Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Students, continuing with the previous topic that we left with in the previous week, that was the concept of dummy variable. Basically, the dummy variable is a symbol that is used to represent the index of a summation, and it can be replaced by any other symbol. So, the index of a summation is basically called a dummy variable. For example, if a summation is moving over a variable k, and if you may change it to l, m, or any other variable, or you can any identifier that you can use, then it is not going to affect much as long as the limits, the span of the summation is going to be unaffected, or in other words, you can say the span of the summation is the same. So by changing a variable with a different notation, in fact going for a new replacement, that is not going to affect the summation and the corresponding results. Now let's see an example against it. This is example 4.1.9. The question at hand is to transform the summation by making specified change of variable. Change of variable. Now, what is the summation at hand? That is basically k from 0 to 6, 1 over k plus 1, and the change of variable that is given to us is j should be replaced with k plus 1, right? In some questions, you may be given with the change of the variable that will be specified, but in some cases, definitely you have to change it yourself according to your own choice and according to certain manipulations, right? So, if I start with the given change of variable, that is j should be replaced with k plus 1, then I know the upper and lower limits of k, that is starting with k equals to 0, j is going to be 0 plus 1, that is 1. So k having a lower limit of 0, j is going to have the lower limit 1. Then for k equals to 6, that is the upper limit, j is going to be 6 plus 1, that is going to result in 7, right? So against the upper limit of k, that is 6, j is going to have the upper limit 7. So the new summation will go from 1 to 7. However, you can see that the span of the summation is going to remain the same, right? The number of terms that are going through the addition process. Now the new summation, the transformed summation at hand, is going to have a new variable, that is k will be replaced by j. J will start from 1 and it will end at 7. 1 over k plus 1 will be replaced by j, right? So this is in fact equivalent to the given summation at hand, say k from 0 to 6, 1 over k plus 1. Now instead of this j, that is if you want to give a new transformation to this summation, then I can say this is also equivalent to I from 1 to 7, 1 over I. So these two summations, they are specifically equivalent because they are moving on the same span, right? And in fact they have the same transformation here over which the summation is proceeded, right? So let's see another example here that is also related to the change of variable. Okay, so let me first write the question here, that is 4.1.10, and we have to transform the following summation according to specified change of variable, right? So in this case, the change of variable that is given to us is j is equals to k minus 1, right? Now, what is the summation at hand? That is basically k from 1 to n plus 1, that is applied over n minus k plus 1, and we have to follow this change of variable, right? So just going to find the lower and the upper limit. So let's start with the lower limit. So here the lower limit, that is for let me write it against k first, and j equals to k minus 1 is going to be 1 minus 1, resulting in a 0. Next is the upper limit. So that is going to be against k equals n plus 1, right? क्योंकि k की अपर लिमिट क्या है n plus 1, समेशन 1 से स्टार्ट हो रही है n plus 1 पे एंड कर रही है. j being equals to k minus 1 and plugging n plus 1 against k, then a minus 1, I'm going to have n. So j is going to have a lower limit of 0 and upper limit of n. Now let's transform the summation accordingly. First, I'm going to check a relationship between j and k, that is writing k in terms of j. So you can write, see here, that if I say that j is equals to k minus 1, then what is k going to be? That is simply equals to j plus 1. Okay? So coming to the summation, do carefully see how I am going to transform it. The variable k will be replaced by j. ठीक, जिसकी हमने अपर और लोअर लिमिट्स अभी फाइंड की हैं. So it is going to start from 0, it is going to end at n, and upon which I have to apply the summation, that is going to be n minus. अब इस k की जगह, ये जो k है इसकी जगह मैं क्या लिख सकती हूँ, j plus 1. So writing, let me write it within the brackets because only k is being replaced by j plus 1. ठीक, and the plus 1, that is a prevailing term. So इस चीज को बहुत केयरफुली देखिएगा. आपने इस पूरी टर्म को रिप्लेस किया है इस ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन के अकॉर्डिंग, ठीक है, and only one variable is to be replaced or it is to be represented in terms of j, that is k. No effect on n, no effect on the 1, right? So finally this is in fact equals to summation j from 0 to n. ठीक, अब यहाँ पे देखें n माइनस j माइनस 1 प्लस 1, ऐसा ही होगा ना, मैंने इस ब्रैकेट्स को ओपन किया, ये दोनों कैंसल आउट हो जाएंगे and what I am left with is this is equivalent to summation j from 0 to n minus j, right? So this is the summation that is being transformed according to the specified change of variable, right? So the new summation is going to start from 0, it is going to end at n, and finally it is applied over a term that is n minus j, right? Okay, ji. Now let's start a new topic here, that is product notation. Till now, we have studied about the summation, that is where a number of terms are going through a summation process, and in order to represent it in a compact form or in order to represent it symbolically we are going to make use of a symbol that is a Greek symbol, which is summation, sigma, right? So how, what about when a number of terms are going through the product or a multiplication process, right? So the notation for product of a sequence of numbers, right? That is notation for product of a sequence of numbers is pi, symbolically this pi sign, right? So here we are going to make use of a separate notation, unlike a symbol, this is going to be represented with the pi. So whenever you are going to see a pi symbol, it means all the terms that are written against it, or any compact term that is written against it, it is going to represent the product of these terms, right? And what summation stands for? It stands for the summation of these terms, right? So let's see an example here. For example, I have a product. The pi symbol is for product, starting from 1, ending at 5, a of k, right? How I can open it, or how I can represent it as a product, that is equivalent to starting from k equals to 1, a1 पहली टर्म की बात कर रही हूँ, और इस टर्म ने वेरी नेक्स्ट टर्म के साथ क्या होना है, मल्टीप्लाई होना है. So a dot operator here. You can also make use of cross symbol, but mostly we go for the dot symbol here. Then comes a2 dot a3 dot a4 and finally a5, right? In a general form, I may also write, say I have a pi symbol that is starting from m ending at n. Not necessarily कि वो 1 से start होगी, किसी भी index से start हो सकती है. And having a term here that is noted by ak, this is going to be am, right? Dot, what will be the very next term? देखिए ना, m कोई भी integer value होगी definitely, और उसकी upper limit n जो है वो भी definitely integer होगा. So the very next term is going to be m plus 1. Definitely वो m plus 0.5 या कुछ और नहीं हो सकता. Similarly, the very next term is going to be m plus 2, and so on. It is going to end at a of n. You can very well guess that the very previous term, or the second last term, is going to be, let me write it here. The second last term can be a n minus 1. The very previous term to it is going to be a n minus 2, and so on, right? So this is a standard notation with the help of which we are going to find the product of certain terms. Say, let's see another example here. If I have a product that is k from 1 to 1, k over k plus 1. Can you people guess that what is this term going to be? The most important thing here is the span of this product, right? Okay, it's same like summation. Product is also going to have a span. और span का क्या मतलब है? How many terms are going through the process of summation? Same is the concept for product notation, that how many terms are going through the multiplication process. कितनी terms multiply हो रही हैं, कितनी terms add हो रही हैं, right? So here the product starts, the span of the product starts from 1 and it is ending at 1. So total number of terms that are going through the product process, that is just 1, right? So because it is starting at from 1 ending at 1, so I have to plug in only a single value of k here, that is in fact 1. So 1 over 1 plus 1. Nothing is going to be multiplied with it. क्योंकि second term यहाँ पर है ही नहीं, एक ही term के ऊपर operate कर रहा है. So this is simply going to be 1 over 2, right? Okay, Ji, let's see some properties of summation and product. Now, what are the properties of summation and product that are going to be used in a number of scenarios where you are going to solve certain summations or you are going to solve certain product questions? So, let me first go through the general concept of these properties. Let AM A subscript m plus 1, so on, and I'm talking about an infinite series here or infinite number of terms. Bm Bm plus 1, Bm plus 2, and so on are the sequences of real numbers, right? Both A's and B's having certain number of terms, they are representing real numbers, and there is a constant C which is any real number. You people are well familiar with the family of real numbers because C is any constant. वो कोई fraction number भी हो सकता है, वो कोई whole number भी हो सकता है. But it is going to have a fixed value. It is not representing a series. It is not representing a set of numbers, right? So the following properties hold for any integer n greater than or equals to n, right? So let me write these properties symbolically one by one. Starting with the first property, we are going to have a summation that starts from m and ends at n, right? देखिए यहाँ पे जो ये notation है ये ही show करी है कि n greater than or equals to m है, यानी m से start हो रही है और कहाँ तक जा रही है, एक कोई भी number है n तक, ठीक? And if this summation is applied over a series ak plus summation that is having the same span, m से start होके n तक जा रही है और यहाँ पे जो terms add up हो रही हैं that are represented by bk, ठीक? Then this is equivalent to, right? सबसे important requirement इसमें क्या है कि दोनों summations का span same होना चाहिए, ठीक है? ये भी m से स्टार्ट हो रही है n पे खत्म हो रही है, ये भी m से स्टार्ट हो रही है और n पे खत्म हो रही है. हाँ, क्या चीज मैटर नहीं करती, अगर यहाँ k लिखा हुआ है और यहाँ j है तो उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. स्टार्टिंग एंडिंग दोनों की सेम है, चाहे आप यहाँ पे j इक्वल्स टू m टू n और यहाँ पे bj लिख दें, इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू अफेक्ट मच. यू कैन merge that those summations or you can replace two sub summations with a single summation, ठीक है? Again, requirement is that both should have the same span, right? So an equivalent summation of these two numbers or these two summations can be a single summation that starts from m, that ends at n, and we have ak plus bk, right? So this is going to be the equivalent of two subsummations. इसको समझने के लिए कि आपके पास एक बहुत नोन सा कॉन्सेप्ट है जो आपने पढ़ा हुआ है, दैट इज अगेंस्ट इंटीग्रेशन. जैसे अगर इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ ए हो प्लस इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ बी हो तो यू कैन गो फॉर इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ ए प्लस, राइट? सेम इज द केस हियर. अगर दो समेशंस हैं, सेपरेटली हैं, दोनों के सेम लिमिट्स हैं, एड अप हो रही हैं, you can take a common summation and you can simply add the two subterms, that is ak and bk, right? So let's go for the second property here. Any constant c, that is in fact a real number, that is multiplied with some summation k from m to n a of k। ठीक है, देखिए समेशन का मेन यहाँ पे कंसर्न किसके साथ है, ए के साथ, क्योंकि के इंडेक्सेस के ऊपर ही ये समेशन रन कर रही है। इस समेशन के अकॉर्डिंगली ही आपने यहाँ पे नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स लिखनी है, वो 6 आती हैं, 7 आती हैं, 10 आती हैं, वट एवर इज अ नंबर। सो ए ऑफ एम प्लस 1 प्लस ए ऑफ एम प्लस 2 एंड सो ऑन, लास्ट टर्म विल बी ए ऑफ एन। और इस पूरी समेशन के रिजल्ट के साथ एक कांस्टेंट मल्टीप्लाई हो रहा है सी। You can also write it like summation having the same span, that is from m to n, right? C multiplied by a of k। ठीक है, बात तो इक्विवेलेंट ही है ना। अगर आप फॉर एग्जांपल, मैं आपके सामने इसको एलैबोरेटिव फॉर्म में लिख देती हूँ। फॉर एग्जांपल अगर ये था 2, c की वैल्यू 2 थी, ठीक है, और यहाँ पे आपने फॉर एग्जांपल 3 टर्म्स ऐड की, A1 को ऐड किया, A2 को ऐड किया और A3 को ऐड किया। आई होप आप समझ रहे होंगे कि मैंने किसके अगेंस्ट लिखा है, मैंने इस समीशन के अगेंस्ट लिखा है। यानी समीशन यहाँ पे 1 से 3 तक गई होगी और A ऑफ K होगा और इसके साथ मल्टीप्लाई हो रहा होगा 2। ठीक है ना, वो इसके इक्विवेलेंट ही है। यू कैन ऑल्सो राइट इट इन द फॉर्म ऑफ 2A1 प्लस 2A2 प्लस 2A3। इक्विवेलेंट हुए ना एक दूसरे के, क्योंकि अगर आप इसको ओपन करके लिखें तो सेम यही फॉर्म आएगी, C मल्टीप्लाइड बाई AM प्लस C मल्टीप्लाई बाई AM प्लस 1 प्लस C multiplied by AM plus 2, so on. Last term is going to be C multiplied by AM, right? So these two forms are equivalent to each other, right? Let's go for the last property here. Let me rub this one. So the third property at hand is against product. Say we have a product from K M to N A of K, right? And another product that is from again same span M to N B K, right? This is equivalent to same like summation, a single product pi from M to N, and these two terms that are in fact multiplied with each other, they are going to be represented as AK dot BK, right? So same like summation, the products can also be merged together within a single pi, but both should have the same span. Okay, ji, now let's see an example against it. This is example 4.1.12. Let A of k is equals to k plus 1 and B of k equals k minus 1. Write each of the following expressions as a single summation or product. Okay, ji, let's solve it. The first one is the summation from M to N A of k plus 2 summation k from M to N B of k. Now let's solve it, right? So plugging in the value of AK and BK, I can write that this is the summation from M to N, and AK is equals to K plus 1 plus 2 times summation M till N K minus 1, right? Again, applying the second property against the summation, I can write it like summation K from M to N K plus 1 plus summation K from M to N to K minus 1. ये ना constant को हम अंदर लिख सकते हैं inside the summation. Now applying the first property, let me write it here. Applying property number 1, right? So this is in fact equivalent to a single summation, that is from M till N. What I can have inside is K plus 1 plus 2 K minus 1. So this is in fact summation from M to N K plus 1 plus 2K minus 2, right? And this is in fact equals to the summation from M to N. Adding these terms, I'm going to have 3K minus 1. So this is the result of the equivalent summation. Okay, if I may say that instead of this summation, let me first erase it. What will be the result of pi k is equals to M till N AK times pi k from M till N BK, right? So putting the values of AK and BK, K is going to be from M to N K plus 1, right? Dot, the second term is going to be again from M to N K minus 1. Now applying the third property, that was against the product, I can have K from M till N K plus 1 times K minus 1. So finally this is going to be K from M to N. What I'm going to have here is K square minus 1, that is K plus 1 into K minus 1. So this is what I have got by applying property number 3 for product, right? So this is how you are going to solve certain notations with the help of properties that are against summation and the product, by which you can merge those summations, you can merge those product terms, and what is the effect of a constant here. So you can very well see here, if I had a constant C here, either you place it outside the product or inside the product, it is definitely not going to affect much, because यहाँ पे तो summation भी involved नहीं है, overall है ही सारा का सारा product. So either if you keep this product in fact outside these two product terms, you can also keep the C here, and that is just going to play the same role here, just like the other constants. But definitely, uh, the constant that is against the summation, that can't be placed outside the two summations, because that is going to double the each term by that, after multiplication by that constant. But in product it can easily work here, because every term is going through the multiplication process. So this brings me to the end of the lecture. Do thoroughly note down the lecture on your register, or whatever you have, so that you have a hands-on practice regarding these questions. Thank you.